Hello, welcome to Day One Patch Podcast, episode 203. I'm your host, Ryan Johnson. Marty Isaacs.
Hello.
Matt Lawrence.
That was a quick one.
Yeah, I had to get through it because we want to get to the late show fun facts.
Are you auctioneering off those fun facts?
Yeah, Matt, these are your favorite ones we've ever done.
Matt's
No.
greatest hits.
Yeah.
No,
All right, are you ready?
that sounds terrible. What's the full name of that book? The Late Show Fun Facts with David Letterman. Matt's the greatest hits.
Late
tack
Show
that on.
Fun Facts by David Letterman and the Late Show writers. Matt Lawrence's greatest
No,
hits.
now you just added a whole.
Brought to you
that's on
by
there.
Day One Patch Media.
Yeah. The first material used in breast implants was cookie dough.
I'm done, Ryan. I'm done with you.
At any given moment, 20 million American men don't realize their fly is down. There might be some truth to that. There's some number out there of men with their fly currently down.
Sometimes you get like that broken zipper.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're like, wait, why is it down?
Yeah.
There's no reason for it to be.
75% of fishermen say they'd rather not be fishing.
What is this from the Far Cry? Fly fishing?
This one's just dumb. This one isn't even funny. It's just dumb. After years of smoking, Frosty the Snowman died from corncob lung.
Put that book down. Put the book down. All our fans are cheering at us.
Here's one you like, Matt. Fidel Castro came up with a sexual position called
Why the hell?
the Cuban sandwich.
Why the hell is that something I'd like?
I don't know. You like
Sandwiches
yeah.
That's really bizarre and random.
and Castro.
Gotta shoehorn that one in there.
Despite years of trial and error, Thomas Edison could never perfect a 5-blade razor.
What's going on with our waveforms there, Mr. Johnson?
What do you mean?
Our waveforms are coming in late. See that?
Well, it has to transcode them.
Does it always do that?
Yeah. That's not real time.
I thought it always came in real time. I don't think it ever popped in like that.
My computer's old. It's 10 years old. Leave it alone.
You gotta submit to our Patreon to get us a new Mac.
A Freedom of Information Act request was recently filed for the government to reveal the location of the Hidden Valley Ranch.
Yeah, put that one away.
There you go. All right, some of the news coming up this week. Talking a bit about the Fortnite creator, or CEO rather. He wants PS4 and Xbox One crossplay support, and he says it's inevitable. So we'll be talking about that. We also have a job listing for EA for an open world Star Wars game. Sony has dropped the price of PS4, PSVR bundles. We got new Overwatch Uprising event coming out in next week, right? Or 2 weeks?
That's your guys'
within the next
territory.
2 weeks. April 10th, I think.
April 10th, 2 weeks.
And an update on Sea of Thieves. So let's get going. What's new, Matt?
We're getting into the Far Cry 5 hard this week, as well as the Fortnite.
Mm-hmm.
2 big games, I guess, we're kind of jumping into. Far Cry 5 was just released, and Fortnite's been out for a bit. I think it's in Season 3. Fortnite Battle Royale, to be clear. You and I were playing it, Marty, last night.
Yeah.
First time on the PS4, and I played it on PC a little bit before that.
Okay.
Pretty good. I think I played one match on Xbox, too, but game's pretty nerve-wracking. Pretty good, though.
It's great, eh?
It's pretty addicting.
Yeah, as soon as you die, you want to jump right back into another match. Try a different strategy, maybe.
I appreciate, I mean PUBG I believe does this too, but I appreciate the fact that you don't have to like stand there and like wait for or like spectate the rest of the match. Like you can just move in, because that would be really irritating, especially if you died early. So I like that you can just jump right in and you just whatever position you got
Yeah.
in the ranking. You and I we were playing what, duos?
Got to like 4th.
Yeah, and that's pretty good.
Is that fourth duo?
4th duo.
Yeah,
duo.
it's based on teams at that point.
Okay.
It was pretty scary too, because the circle was what I believe was either the smallest or close to the smallest thing, and we'd only seen 2 people, and we'd had a bit of an exchange with them where they knocked me down and I knocked one of them down. So you got me up,
Yeah.
and then we were like in this area, and I was like, I'm pretty sure there's got to be other guys around here, but we haven't seen them. And then the whole house just got swarmed. That was like, it was so quick.
Yeah.
Oh, here, everyone building, and I'm like, oh god, here we go. But that was pretty fantastic. We only had 2 matches that we did really bad in. We died really quick.
Yeah.
So
We're
that's
not
pretty
doing
good.
too bad. We're learning.
Getting the combat down, like we're able, like before it was like you see somebody and you kind of like stay back because you can't really kill them. But now we're actually like putting down guys and a couple of guys here and there. Like I just did a match now. We got like 2 or 3 guys down.
I think the key is to just go after people. Don't worry about yourself. Just get a gun and start killing people right away.
Yeah, like be smart. Like don't be running in between a firefight. But if someone's shooting at you and you're equipped, go in there and take them out because they're gonna just have more time to think and strategize.
Every time we lose a fight, it's because we run away.
Yeah. Yep. 100%. We have ran. I think what was that one? I remember the guy had like the huge tower in the middle.
Yeah.
And we ran from them, and that was successful. But that was like the one successful retreat. So, game's pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. I mean, everyone thinks it's good. It's like the big viral game right now.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to buy that, whatever it is, the premium pass, battle pass, whatever they call it.
I think I'm going to try and get good at it. We're getting better.
Oh, yeah, we're definitely doing a lot better.
I think the building is key. Once you get that down, then you can start showing people what's up.
Yeah, you need like the muscle memory of like, because people are building while they're shooting.
And jumping.
Halo
jumping.
It's just like, yeah, there's a lot of Halo jumping in this game. And we found out, too, that, so I was watching some Twitch streamers last week play the game, and they like were playing a game called Blitz, which I guess is like the quicker version of the game.
Isn't that the 50 on 50?
It might be that, but it's like, I think it's a smaller map. I'm not entirely sure. Like, I know it was just like quicker. Like, I just had it on the background. And then you and I were going to go do it. Now it's snipers. So it kind of, from what we understand, changes whatever the cycle is. So that's interesting. That's kind of like the Overwatch arcade, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of interesting. So yeah, that's the Fortnite.
That's the Fortnite.
And then we're playing the Far Cry 5. Ryan and I are.
Far Cry 5 is really good so far.
It's really good, but it's got some problems. It's got that stealth problem, like I was telling you.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to do about that. If that's a fix they're even going to fix.
Well, like,
or if it's even a problem in their eyes, I don't know.
Well, I find that, and it's been a while since I've played a Far Cry, but I find that it's doing the thing like in Ghost Recon, where they kind of go into a hunted state where they don't know where you are. They know that something's up. But what happened was I lured this guy, one of the guards, like way out into the woods by like throwing rocks, and I led him way out there. Had a silenced pistol, put him down, and then I heard like, what the heck's going on over there? And I turn around, and there's a guy like way, like he was torturing like a prisoner or something, and he wasn't even looking toward us, and he was way down there, and I could hardly see him, and I was like, are you kidding me? And he starts like running over. Now he doesn't know where I am, but he like makes the camp all crazy.
I mean, to be fair, these Far Cry games have never had the greatest stealth either.
No, but they're
remember the infamous, what was that? I don't know. I'm going to sound the alarm.
I remember that shit. That was fucking fantastic. But the game's really fun. The claims of no break, like there's no break in the action, is definitely true. I was given a mission, slight spoiler alert, where I was supposed to go up and do this like great nature challenge, and I was supposed to like go to like into the depths of like a really deep lake, and then I was also supposed to like climb to the heights because it's supposed to be like a big challenge. Climb to the heights of like this mountain and like steal an egg, and then like get back to the guy. Throughout that whole time, and I was like in the remote mountains. Throughout that whole time, there were helicopters coming after me, cult guys, freaking cougars chasing me, eagles flying. Like it's like like people have been complaining about that, and it's definitely like that is a valid.
It's just
complaint.
too much adrenaline. You're just constantly running, and it's pretty rough.
Because there's so many prisoner vans. Like there's like prisoner vans over the roads.
Mm-hmm.
I remember Far Cry 4. You could kind of just drive around.
My only complaint really is that there's no clear objective. It's kind of just like, here's a bunch of locations on this map, just do them. And there's no rhyme or reason or what order you need to do them in. And so I'm just kind of running around the area, just doing whatever mission I see. Now, if that's the way they want it, I mean, that's fine. But
I would say I would agree with that. Like, this is sort of the first Far Cry game where it's more...
It feels too open, almost.
Like, it's too... Like, I wouldn't say it's too open. Like, it's more open than ever, but it's sort of, like, filled with stuff. And not just, like, the action. I mean, like, there's, like, a lot of missions and side stuff and story missions. Like, there's times where I'll like go do a mission and I won't even know it's a story mission, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, story mission complete, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's super interesting, and we're down like super different paths too. So what's kind of dumb about the multiplayer is it doesn't carry over. So like your character itself is saved,
right?
But like if you and I go and we start new characters, we start multiplayer and we do missions 1, 2, 3 together, but you're in my game, your progress won't save. When you go back to your game, mission 1, 2, 3 won't be saved. Right.
It's kind of weird because I was playing with Aaron this morning. I did a bunch of missions he'd never even seen yet.
That's
right?
crazy.
And so he's experiencing this game for the first time, but it's not his game, and then he has to go back to his game and do it all over again.
And do it all over again. Yeah,
So
yeah.
it kind of sucks that way. But I don't.
What's the point of the multiplayer then?
That's the thing is like I always feel like Far Cry misses the mark on co-op, where it's like if you're way like I it's probably the thing where it's like if I had like let's say I had played for 13 hours and I'm way ahead of these guys and then I go and join one of their games, they don't want me to spoil it for them, but they should just do what other games do and just have it so like if it's a mission that I'm repeating but I'm in their game, it'll just repeat. But if we get to the point where I'm at and then we keep going, it should save on both of ours. Like it should be a constant progression. I don't know why.
But I think it goes back to the world being open. That would be tough to do that because let's say you only went over to Faith's area, never went over to John's area, right? So your entire story has nothing to do, or it hasn't even been started in John's area. So you join my game, and all of a sudden you're getting all these John area quests done.
Yeah.
It won't necessarily match up.
Yeah, that's a good point because there's
you'll have like let's say I did like 2 missions in a total of 5 missions in John's area.
Yeah,
and then you join me. You'll miss those first 2 missions, but still have progress for the last 3.
That's a good point.
You know,
that's a good point.
So it would be hard to do that. I think.
Like I wonder if I think arcade is the mode with like the different maps, right? People can create missions and maps.
Yeah, what looks nuts too.
But I feel like maybe that is where they should have focused the multiplayer. Like I know everyone's like, oh, we can play the campaign co-op the first time, but it's like not really. Like you have to rely on one person, and then your game doesn't have any of the progress.
How did the co-op work in 4?
The co-op in 4 didn't allow you to do story missions.
So what did you do? Just side quests and
It
crap?
was
You just ran
like
around?
it was like outposts and stuff. We played it.
See, that was fine for me too.
It was fine, but it was boring. Like it got boring. And I think they tried to address that with this, but it's like. Because, like, for example, you're going to the area where you were told to go. We got kidnapped, slight spoiler alert, we got kidnapped at one point and taken to another area. I'm trying to be intentionally vague. And I've just been, like, there's been so much stuff in that area, so I've just been doing it. So, like, when I joined your game last night or a couple nights ago, I literally had not done any of the crap that you've done.
Right.
So, like, now I'm going to have to, like, go back and redo it. So it's almost like it's, like, a spoiler for me. But I'm still experiencing it for the first time. Like, it's really bizarre.
I think those kidnappings are scripted, though.
You think the kidnappings are scripted?
Because I was with you when you got kidnapped, right? Me and Aaron were playing. We weren't in the same area. We were in a completely new area. I got kidnapped again and didn't play out the same way ours played out. They're completely different.
That's super
And
interesting.
so I think it probably tracks you, and like depending on how much you do, it then initiates a sequence where you get pulled back into the main story mission.
Because there's like that bar as to how much the resistance is taking over that region.
Yeah.
I was also thinking this as well, and because a lot of the complaints are coming out first day, I'm wondering whether the action will die down when you start actually clearing out the cult.
I would hope so, yeah.
Because it's supposed to be crazy right now. Admittedly, like the nature's a bit too much. Like there's cougars and fucking eagles and shit always after you. But
that's normal Far Cry though.
That's normal Far Cry. But like it's a bit more extreme in my experience. But like I feel like it may be, the patrols will drop down, this and that. So then it gets to the point where like that first area where they tell you to go, that like province will be like relatively safe. So if you want to kind of go back and just sort of like clean up some stuff, you can.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping. But the game's good. Like. It's pretty damn fun, and the change of scenery is really nice.
Yeah, I do enjoy that. Yeah,
it's the first Far Cry game where I'm not always in a car too.
I do walk around a lot more than.
That's
it's almost sometimes it's kind of a hassle to have to get a car.
Yeah, it's like I don't want to go down there and go on the road. I'll just walk.
Yeah,
pretty good.
Marty, what's new? Anything new with you?
The backlogs of games.
You just bought.
I just bought A Way Out.
Yeah,
and haven't booted it up yet.
Confusing about the multiplayer system. We
were trying to figure that out. We haven't really tested it yet. We'll have to do that soon.
What's confusing about it?
Well, it tells you to download something very specific when you open up the case for if you want to use multiplayer.
Okay.
Because you only need one copy to play multiplayer.
Okay.
So Ryan has to download the free one if he wants to play with me.
Mm-hmm. Because you have the premium, right?
It has very specific wording inside the case on what to download. So when you look on the store, it's not there.
Okay.
What's on the store is the game and a demo.
Okay.
You have to download the demo.
Is that... You guys haven't confirmed that working, right?
We have not confirmed it.
No, but the way it's supposed to work is like Marty owns the game. He installs it. He launches it, invites me to the game. It then sends me a link to the store where I can download this version. And I guess we were looking online, and it said it's basically the demo. So I downloaded the demo. We'll see if that works.
It's basically the demo.
We're not sure yet.
We're not sure, but we're guessing it's the demo.
It just sounds so stupid that you'd have to get the game, download it yourself, send an invite, and be like, all right, I'll see you in like 2 hours
Yeah,
when your
that's
game's
weird.
done now downloading.
Unless that's a tracking system that is only letting you hand out a certain amount. I don't know if there's any mention of limitation, but like maybe you couldn't play.
I don't
with
think
10
so
friends.
because the game is meant to be played with 2 people.
Yeah.
So to limit how many people you could play with, it seems kind of ridiculous. It's like at a certain point, then your game just becomes useless. Like you can no longer play it.
You know what's really weird about this too is there's so much controversy right now against EA and their like monetization methods. But then they did Burnout Paradise like HD, and they did this.
And they said they wouldn't do remasters.
I think maybe Burnout was because it was on the tail end of the generation.
But there's also rumor of a Mass Effect one
They could have changed their mind after Peter Moore, right?
after.
Or wait, no, what Peter Moore?
Peter Moore was the original one. Yeah.
Okay. I'm getting it confused with Molyneux.
Oh yeah.
But like, I wonder if either this was a turning thing, or like maybe EA is just they run the monetization game hard on the main series, but like they're still down to do other stuff.
I have no problems with remasters because it's like if like me, I want to buy a remaster, right? I like remastered games. But if you're against remastered games, just don't buy it and go back and play your old one. You still have your old one unless you sold your console or whatever.
I don't think people are against a remaster if they like the game. I think they're against a remaster because they
In
want
principle?
something new out of the studio.
But I mean, it's not like the main studio is working on the remaster. They usually hire another studio.
Well, like for example, Skyrim Special Edition was the main studio, as far as I understand it.
But yeah, but they take
So like,
forever to
that's
do anything though.
well, it's technically like wasted time
I suppose.
in the grand scheme.
I also see it as like gauging like people's opinions on whether or not they want like another game in that franchise. Like maybe Crash will come back.
Yeah.
Especially if it's been a while.
Yeah.
I'm hoping for LA Noir. That's what I'm hoping for.
You already
That's what you
did
think it
LA
is,
Noir.
like an LA Noir 2?
Because why else do an HD game unless they
How old will GTA 5 be by the time Red Dead comes out?
Geez, when did GTA 5 come out?
It was in the
13?
360 era.
2013? I want to say.
Something like that. 360 era anyway.
So that's a long time between GTAs.
But they did say something along the lines of when GTA came out, it was like you're buying GTA 5, which gives you access to GTA Online, but GTA Online is not constrained to one GTA.
Okay.
So I think like in total speculation, if they come out with a GTA 6, when you purchase a GTA, you're buying like the story and possibly the map, and maybe there'll be a new map per GTA on GTA Online.
Wouldn't it be cool if they had the 2 maps on GTA? If they started making an entire world, an entire MMO essentially.
Online? No, that's
for
what I think
GTA
they're going
Online.
to do.
That
That's
would
exactly.
be incredible.
Because they have an airport.
Oh, man.
You could, even if they don't want to load both maps at the same time, you literally go to the airport.
Yeah.
And like they'll just take you there or whatever. They need to get those goddamn servers up though, like better.
Are they bad still?
Well, like I was watching somebody play on PC for the first time a while ago. And they have like good internet, and the server went down. There's lots of like weird, like quirky problems on console, like people getting kicked, and you'll see other people getting kicked from the game too, because it'll be like in a wave. You'll see like 10 people leave all at once. And then like you get kicked a lot and stuff. And like I was watching a couple of guides on how to do some stuff on GTA Online because I got back into it a couple months ago, and they like the guys were like, "Oh, do it in this order because you might get kicked from Rockstar, like so that you don't lose your progress."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Fuck! Like, why is this still a thing?" But I mean, the game would be awesome if it had that.
Yeah. You know what else would be awesome if Xbox One and PS4 had crossplay support? You could play your GTA Online
Yeah,
with whoever you want.
yeah, pretty good.
Speaking of which, Fortnite CEO also wants this to happen, and also claims that it is inevitable. So he went on to say that games have become social experiences in the same way that Facebook and Twitter have, and these experiences only really make sense if gamers can communicate with all of their friends. For Sony and Microsoft to support their customers well, they have to be open to all their customers' friends. They're real world friends. Otherwise, they're breaking up real world social groups, which kind of happened with us when the consoles shifted over.
Yeah,
'Cause,
for
like-
sure. Like we definitely like almost split down the middle.
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah.
Or like lost like 30% or something at least of the people.
At least Nate and Alex, they stayed on Xbox, and then everyone else kind of got. You have both. I have both now, but I'm not really actively playing my Xbox.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, definitely, I think it split up a lot of people.
The thing is though, is I can see Sony just like doing the cold shoulder on this and just being like, nah, I don't care.
I honestly think they're doing it because they're in the lead right now, and
There's that for sure.
They feel like, why should we give any more support to our competitors by having this cross thing? Because if more people have PS4s, they're going to entice their friends to buy a PS4 if they don't already have one. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? If it's just like, oh, you can get an Xbox One if you really like Xbox, and then we can play together. There's no one, no real reason to go get a PS4 then.
And if there's crossplay and you see that the Xbox is cheaper, why would you buy a PlayStation? You
Yeah.
can still play with your friends, just get the cheaper console.
Yeah, like it's definitely like the community itself. Like they said it right there. It's social now, so like that in itself is a console seller. The actual community.
It would be curious though if Sony decides to do it come next gen. Just right off the bat, everyone has access to online. You know what I mean?
What do you mean? Like they're gonna like cross it? Like do the
Yeah, like
cross-platform?
PS4, they're not going to do cross-play.
Yeah.
But come the next generation, PS5, you can cross-play with all your Xbox friends.
I don't know. I feel like Sony might be out of touch a bit. Now, I feel like they were really in touch when like Microsoft was fucking around when the Xbox One was coming out,
Yeah.
like with the online access and all that crap. But then like I feel like Sony might be a little out of touch. Like, why would they curb EA access and
Yeah,
like,
that's
why
another,
do they
yeah.
like? I feel like they're now just like, oh, we're top dog, okay, and they just like stopped innovating now.
It's ridiculous how good of a value EA access is.
Yeah,
It's insane.
Right.
I don't know how EA makes money off of that.
I think it's literally because people that want, let's say, Mass Effect, are going to buy Mass Effect day one or within the launch window, and then what they'll do is they'll like have it on the store for a while, and then a year later or even before, whatever, they'll be like, okay, like the sales have literally like plummeted because like everyone who wants it has it,
Yeah.
and now we're just going to give it to EA Access guys. EA Access probably doesn't pay off immediately, but it's one of those things where it's like this library is growing, this like Vault game is growing, Vault library, whatever you want to call it, and like they're constantly making 30 a year. So the more people that like come on, it's like, oh, this game is like essentially making $5 a month per user on EA Access, whereas it was making like 30 sales a month because it's so old.
Yeah, because games kind of really do just lose all sales after like 2 months. So any sort of money they can get after that is probably just free money to them.
Exactly.
Really. So that's pretty good.
And you don't just make money off a game by selling it to somebody. Microtransactions for years.
There's that too,
Yeah.
And
yeah.
DLC. The DLC is like just discounted.
That's what I'm wondering though. I'm waiting for the first big AAA game to be free and just have a bunch of microtransactions. Like take Mass Effect for example. Let's say the next Mass Effect game, comes out. It's free.
Yeah.
You get an 80-hour experience for free, but there's microtransactions in there. Because it happened on mobile. When the app stores first came out, I remember games were like $10
Yeah.
per game.
Yeah, there's still some like that though.
Yeah, there is. It's kind of shifted back now. It's kind of like reached the equilibrium. But it was $10 at the beginning, and then they slowly went down to $5, and then they went down to free. Now most big games on iOS or even Android are free. So I'm just waiting to see who's the big developer that's going to do it on console.
I could see it being Blizzard
Oh yeah, yeah.
because like they're kind of like like StarCraft, like the StarCraft experience that you get for free, co-op and the whole bit is pretty damn awesome. I don't know whether you can play any campaign, but
How big of a game do you want? Like a Call of Duty, something like that?
Well, I just mean from a AAA publisher. Just could be anything. And it has to be like a main franchise game. It can't be like Ubisoft.
Hearthstone doesn't count.
Hearthstone counts, but like I mean on a console.
Oh, okay.
But it can't be like a little side project for them. Like A Way Out doesn't count for EA. If they made that free, that one doesn't count. I mean, like I want a premier title.
you know what I'm really surprised that hasn't happened, or at least I'm not aware of, is something similar to that, but have a game like, I don't know, Skyrim or The Witcher or something, like a single player RPG where it's subscription based and they do updates like they would to an MMO, but they just keep adding quests, maps, factions, gear. Like I'm surprised that hasn't happened yet. Where like, or like even maybe not a subscription, just like constant DLC.
Yeah.
Where like it's games as a service, but for the single player. So it's like, you bought in at this point. Sure, you have like DLC 1 through 10, but we're going to add more. Like, I'm surprised that hasn't happened because there's a point in which, fans of a series are always looking for the next title. Well, maybe the evolution of that is just going to be, pay $10 every, 6 months.
Yeah.
And we'll give you, more DLC.
I am curious how much money Overwatch makes off their loot boxes because they probably could be the first ones to go free. Overwatch 2.0 comes out, just an update. From this point on, it's free to everyone.
Yeah.
And then just loot boxes.
How... if it's free, whatever free version you get is going to be limited and bad.
No, I don't think so.
Because you have
that's a
to have
concern.
people spend money. You have to.
Yes, but that's what I'm wondering. How much money does Overwatch make on the loot boxes alone?
Who makes the most money, you think?
GTA Online has made billions.
Do they have a loot box system, or is it straight up you
Just
buy
shark
money?
cards.
Straight up, you
Shark
buy
cards,
money.
right?
You buy shark cards, which gives you money, and then the money buys stuff. So you're literally just purchasing money in the game. You're purchasing the currency.
See, that makes the most sense because it seems fair.
Yeah, GTA Online, like there's some gimmicks in the way you make money in that game, but I think it's a not as a cheap solution. What am I trying to say here? It's
Not as of a cheap solution.
The solution doesn't feel as cheap
Yeah.
as having like, oh, there's dollars and then shark dollars or
Right.
like credit card. Like yes, you're like, in universe you're purchasing a shark credit card, but that shark credit card is giving you money, and everything you do adds to your money.
Yeah. I'm just wondering if they make more money selling things outright, or if Overwatch makes more money selling a chance.
I have a feeling that
I see what
GTA
you're
Online,
saying.
I think,
Yeah.
GTA Online's made the most, hasn't they?
No, he's not talking about most. He's talking about essentially
What's a better...
per capita, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
Meaning, let's just take one loot box
Yeah.
being sold for $10 and 10,000 GTA dollars for $10.
What's the better buy for people?
Are people buying more when they just get cash in the game, or are they buying more when they get
I would say,
randomized item?
See, the thing with GTA specifically, I think that that's worth it more because what you could do is,
Buy whatever you want.
well, what you could do is if you wanted to buy, I don't know, let's say you want to buy something that's 10 million. You don't want to. You look at the real world money cost of 10 million. You don't want to spend that much. In that game, you just go, okay, well, I'll play for a month. I'll get 5 million, let's say, and then I'll just pay 5 million. Like you're literally like earning what you want, and you're not like, I really hope I get the jet. You're just like, oh, I want the jet. I'm gonna get the jet. This is how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna subsidize myself by playing.
So which one are you saying makes more money? The
I think
straight
GTA
up buying
Online,
cash.
Well, GTA Online I think makes more money and it has better value. I think that's my opinion.
Because I the only loot boxes I bought on a console were in Overwatch, and those were randomized items, and I kept buying because I wanted the next chance to get the item I wanted, and it has that pulling the lever on at a casino feel.
Would you have
that's
felt more?
not valuable though.
Would you have felt more comfortable just buying the skins outright? Would you have done that?
See, that's a good question. I can't say for certain.
See, I think the issue here is that like loot boxes, like despite their like quote unquote excitement when opening them, like I don't think that they offer much value. Like you're not like itching to be like, I gotta open these loot boxes, but what you're really doing is you're itching to get at new items. And what really sucks is something like when we did the Halloween event, I got no Reaper stuff the whole time, and that's what I was aiming for. I got a bunch of other crap. And that's stuff that I'll never use.
But I think the thinking is, I don't know how to explain it.
No, I think the huge difference is I just bought a jet, or holy shit, I just want a jet.
It's more exciting. Loot boxes are more exciting than just buying straight up cash to buy an in-game item.
I think you're right. I think you're right there. But I don't think that loot boxes give you much excitement.
They do though.
I shouldn't say that. They don't give you much long-term satisfaction, I should say. Like if I get a car in GTA and I took forever to get it. Like for example, I was working toward getting the DeLorean or whatever it's called. If I work toward getting it, I get it, and I use it, I'm gonna be tempted to use it all the time, and because I spent my time or my money, whatever, to get that thing.
Mm-hmm.
If I get a skin in Overwatch on a super slim chance, it's gonna be like, holy fuck, that was a 0.1% chance. Jesus. But I don't really care that much. It's the same thing in, if you dumb it down to Pokemon Go, their quote unquote loot boxes, which aren't really that apparent, are the eggs, right? Walking around with eggs. I got if you get like a hatted Pichu for the first time, that's like, holy crap, there's a, whatever chance it is to get it. But you're going to feel a lot better about catching that legendary Pokemon in a raid or by catching one during a quest with a new questing system, because you're going to be like, I went to that raid, I joined up with people, and I went and I fought it, and I fucking threw good catch balls, whatever, and I caught it. With the Pichu, it's like I walked around for two kilometers, and I'm like, holy fuck, that's surprising. And then after a day, I don't care. But that, I don't know, that Moltres or whatever that somebody has, they're like, fuck, I went here, and there's a story behind that Moltres.
So I wonder what went through the offices in Overwatch when they made the decision not to be able to buy gold via microtransactions and just the ability to buy loot boxes. Why did they make the decision over the other?
Because one makes more money.
Well, that's what we're getting at here.
No, but one makes more money, but I think that GTA might make more money, in my opinion, because just due to the people.
That's what we're saying, but we're trying to break it down to...
per person.
If both games were selling the same amount of microtransactions,
yeah,
which one is making more money?
I think GTA would still do it.
Or sorry, the better way to put that is you have identical games. Mm-hmm. One has loot boxes, one has currency.
Loot boxes make more money.
What are people going to do more often?
I think loot boxes.
I think loot boxes. Wait. You think people are going to buy the loot boxes?
Yeah.
You're not going to buy the currency?
No, because it's like gambling, and you get addicted to it, and you get excited about it. Not addicted in the sense of it's dangerous to your health, but you there's something more. I think it's more satisfying to get something out of a loot box.
No, but
a rare chance.
I don't think that you're satisfied. I think that you're excited for a moment.
There's
maybe
a game
day.
that has both.
Which one's that?
Rocket League. You can buy cars.
Okay.
There's cars that you can always buy. They're like the Fast and Furious or the DeLorean or the Batmobile. Or you can buy crates that have cars in them that aren't in the store. I have a lot of friends that play Rocket League, and they spend a lot of money on crates. None of them buy the prepaid cars.
I think there's less excitement for that.
Now, in that particular case, though, it could be due to the licenses. Like if they don't care about those licenses.
But back to the point you just made, you said there's limited excitement with a loot box. I think there's no excitement with just buying it.
No, I don't think
nothing fires off my brain when I just buy an item I want.
It isn't excitement. It's satisfaction. I think.
But my brain isn't concerned with satisfaction though. At that time.
No, but the thing that the thing that people were arguing, I guess.
I think you're confusing it though. You're earning that car in GTA. Right. I'm talking about buying it.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Spending real money.
Like if you just were to buy it outright.
You're not doing heist to earn it. You're buying it.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Because then there's no excitement for it. It just, I want that, I bought it, done.
Right. Yeah, if you were to buy it, you just buy it outright. Yeah.
But a loot box with a rare chance to win that item is exciting.
But I don't think it's satisfying. I think that you're...
But
it is satisfying.
It's instant gratification.
But also that's irrelevant to which one makes more money.
Yes, that's true.
I think people are getting addicted to that.
Actually, no, that probably is.
No, but I feel
that probably is the most relevant thing because people are addicted to getting excited and it wears off. So then, therefore, they want to buy more loot boxes to open them up.
Well, that's to our point then. That loot boxes make more money.
Here's the thing in Rocket League.
I agree with you there.
Oh, okay.
I agree with you there.
Right.
I'm just saying
that's the question we're asking.
Because we cleared that up. Because before we were saying GTA makes more money. Why? And it was because I think it's because people can work towards it and you get satisfied over the long term. But if if you have same games, one has loot boxes, one doesn't. The loot boxes probably make more money.
Okay, yeah, I think that's what.
I think we had a logistical issue before.
All right, let's move on here. Job posting was listed for an EA job for an open world Star Wars game. It's kind of unclear whether this is the one they reworked from Visceral or this is a brand new Star Wars game.
why
Is that
why is it
visceral
unclear?
thing still happening?
Visceral got shut down. The game got reworked
Yeah, that's
And
still
is
a game though.
and is becoming a new game. And it's a what are they called? What's those type of games called?
Oh, it's like a service now, right?
Games as a service.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to be more like Destiny. What's it called?
That sounds like it.
The hell was that?
Your favorite game? Ubisoft.
I don't know what that means. I don't know
Dark
what that...
Zone. Run into the Dark Zone.
Oh, Division.
Division.
Is it going to be Star Wars: The Division?
Yeah. Which Adriano actually wants.
I do not want that. Just play The Division.
I don't know what that game's going to become. It's up in the air right now.
Do you care about the open world in those games?
Division?
Yeah.
No. Destiny? No.
The thing about Destiny or the Division though
Are those open world games?
Open zones.
See, I think that's the issue. I think that with Destiny and Division, it's very number based. You're very obsessed with what gear and what buffs you have at what number, at what percent, at whatever. And so what you're doing is the world is a means to an end to get to the chest or to beat the quest, to get the loot drop, to try to get a better gun that has a better number.
It's more technical than I care for.
Whereas like something like a Fallout, for example, you're running around and yeah, you might go in there and be like, fuck, I want a new gun. But like the game is built upon the experiences of you going into those buildings to try to go through the building to get the gun.
Right.
And you remember like the special quests like Pikmin and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. But an open world game, if this is different from that visceral one, I don't know what that means. Because does that mean the visceral one is, or the post visceral one is not open world and it's not like the Division? Do you know what I mean?
It's got to be a new game if they're just looking for somebody now, right?
Well, with the whole rework, I don't know. It's hard to tell. You know what I mean?
Even if it's a rework, it's still going to be a while before we probably see it.
Yeah. But I'm trying to think of... they've only done 2 Battlefronts. Those are the only Star Wars games they've had, right?
EA?
Yeah.
They've had that license for a while now.
It only delivered 2 Battlefront games.
Mm-hmm.
Am I counting that right?
You are correct.
So it's already been like 4 years into their contract. 2 Battlefront games. One was a horrible disaster.
Well, no, wait a second here.
Which led to a complete
horrible disaster
reform.
in terms of scandal, but sold very well.
$1 million less than their projections.
Still sold a shit ton.
And no microtransactions, which their investors were not too happy about. And a call from Disney CEO saying, "Get your shit together."
Was that confirmed?
No, but I'd imagine.
Do you think they can get the money flowing again once they introduce those microtransactions this late?
Of course, people
This late?
people just do it. People just buy microtransactions. We've seen this happen nonstop.
But when this game come out, like 6 months ago now?
Probably about that, yeah. Before Christmas, at least, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I think the issue is that
People will buy microtransactions. Doesn't matter when.
It'll
they'll
probably
buy
be
it.
like Han Solo DLC or something for when
Oh
that
yeah,
movie comes
yeah,
out.
for sure, yeah.
is that movie gonna be bad?
It has the chance to be, for sure.
I don't think
Well,
it
every
looks,
movie
I don't
has
think it looks
every
good.
movie has a chance to.
No way.
I like the characters. I like the actors, but the story could go belly up.
There you go.
Especially,
You heard it
especially,
here first from a Star
especially
Wars
with,
super fan.
especially with Squid Monster in space. I don't know about that,
That sounds pretty cool.
but there was the space slug, the space worm.
Yeah.
So
Looking pretty goofy in the review mirror now.
yeah. But anyway, I just hope they do something good. I just want a good Star Wars game.
I hope they do anything
Yeah,
and just put out a game already.
yeah. All right, moving on. How do you guys think about PSVR? Too expensive, right?
Yeah.
How would you like it if it was $100 cheaper?
How much is it now?
These are bundles, mind you. $300 and $350 American.
Gets me.
Let me see here. The Doom bundle.
A game. Okay.
You get the game, PlayStation camera, and the updated PSVR demo disc.
Oh, good.
The Skyrim VR bundle comes with the PSVR headset, a PlayStation camera, 2 PS Move controllers, and the PSVR demo disc.
How much? 350?
$350 American.
That. Oh.
Yeah.
This is the current price or the drop down?
This is the drop down price.
That's not terrible.
Think of it as 400 and 450 American previously, before the $100 drop. What this tells me, though, is that PSVR is probably not doing that well. I think.
I think the problem with VR is that I don't think it will ever get to where they want it to be if they keep augmenting our movements. If that makes sense. So I think that when VR will take off, or if they ever get to this point, we have to be sitting in a chair, and we have to have our mind taken over.
Because then it'd be like a dream, and it'd be kind of seamless.
And it'd be seamless.
You feel like you're there,
and you're moving around in the game.
But that's got to be 100 years away before we can tap into the brain like that.
But the thing is, though, is you know, it's just like the Wii. It's definitely a more advanced Wii, but you're in in the real world. I know people will get lost for a moment, but it's not like they've been in there for 60 hours and then they come out and they're like, Jesus Christ. It's not like that, but if you were in one of these chairs, that could potentially happen where you're like, holy God, I got to go back to the real world. I feel like augmenting, just literally putting sensors on us to detect our movements with these controllers and stuff. I think it's definitely probably fun. I think it's probably it's good for what's there, but it's probably not good enough.
I think it's more like you go to your buddy's house and play his that he bought. You don't buy it yourself.
Yeah. There's always that one guy that gets it.
Because, what do you think is the best game on VR right now?
I can't name it for you.
No, nobody knows. There isn't one.
No.
You need, that one big game that you can show off in the commercial that just looks cool as shit.
And from what I can tell, most of the reviewers and stuff are saying that game doesn't exist yet. That all the games currently feel like demos.
They're shorter experiences. Yeah, you walk around the Batcave or whatever.
And this always goes back to how I feel about even motion controls, is that people don't want this big setup, and they don't want to have to do anything more than just sit there. So it's this idea that you got to put this big cabley mess on your head, and then have move controllers, your camera set up, have a clear space. It's too much just to... Games are supposed to be a time to relax and just have fun. Not this whole suit up process, And
a lot of living room locations are not set up. I didn't set up with the intention of having to run a marathon in the center of my living room.
This is why previously motion control type stuff was in arcades. It was an event. You go to it. You're ready for that stuff.
You went there for it.
Yeah, and when it's just at home, you just want to relax and play a game. The PlayStation Move had much better motion tracking than the Wii did, in my opinion. And that still didn't take off. So even when the technology is there to be pretty accurate...
They didn't have that one game.
They didn't have the games.
Yeah.
And look at the Wii. Hundreds of games that no one cared about. It was the only people cared about were the Nintendo ones. And they just ended up being normal games.
See, if Nintendo came out with a VR headset and you were running around as Link, that people would buy that.
Maybe. Yeah.
But it would be as gimmicky as the Wii, though.
Yeah. But people would buy it.
People would buy it. I don't think it would have much longevity, though. If they did a DLC for it, I don't think it would sell well. People would... If
GTA came out for PlayStation VR, people would buy that. They got a first-person mode now, right?
Yeah.
But see,
true.
I think if the Switch was a VR-only thing, I think it would turn like the Wii. It'd probably sell like crazy. Everyone would be good nuts for it. Yeah. And then games would drop support, and it would just become another Wii.
So it's never going to be mainstream. It's always going to be an accessory.
And I think even now, I've never tried motion controls or virtual reality headsets. But from what I can tell, just from watching other people and then gameplay and stuff, it's still not at that level that people want. It's still clunky and stuff. And
that's what I mean.
The moving around. Have you seen how you had to move around in VR games?
No, not really.
You teleport. Because the problem is, if you're walking, your brain gets sick because you're moving and you're not actually moving.
Oh, is that a thing now?
So your brain is seeing, oh, I'm moving through this hallway or whatever, but your body does not feel that motion. You get sick, and so they have this teleport system where you and you just teleport around the room.
Yeah, see, I think we need the chair. I think we need that level, and that's such a different level. Mm-hmm. Don't augment my real movements. You need to intercept my brain signal, which sounds totally insane in sci-fi, which it is. Mm-hmm. But I think that is where VR will take off. Because then it's do you want to play Far Cry or something? Yeah, you jump in and then you are driving the car. You are playing with your friend, literally right there.
Right. It would feel like we're here in this room, but in VR in some sort of game or something. Right?
Exactly. I think it literally because that's essentially what it's trying to emulate.
Yeah.
So I think you literally need to get there.
Yeah.
You need it to be there.
What I wonder about though is like, let's say the whole VR movement right now dies off. Are there going to be research labs and stuff still looking into making it better?
Yeah.
How does it become better? Do you know what I mean? If the whole industry kind of dies off, because no one would be there to make it better.
It'll have to be in a different industry.
I think you're right. Where did VR first start? Like why did someone try to make a VR headset now?
Well, VR I think is kind of one of those things where it's just like with 3D TVs. Like what they're striving for realism.
Right.
So, making things 3D is a step toward realism. Doing VR is literally like supposed to be a virtual step toward reality.
No.
Like it's supposed to be like that. So like I think it was one of those things where it's like our processors got to the point where it could handle like 1,000,001 sensors. So they were like, all right, let's do it.
I think it just like someone came up with it in like a sci-fi show first.
Yeah.
And then we just tried to make it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that too.
All
I
right.
want to know what the next gimmick is. Because like people are like, oh, we didn't know what these gimmicks were when they were coming out, but it's like we kind of did though. Like 3D,
Well,
3D is one of them. Like what's the next thing? What's the next fad?
The thing is, gaming started like on a controller, and it hasn't changed. We're never going to move past that.
It's the same as a movie.
Yeah.
Controller and TV, it's always going to be that, no matter what.
Unless it's the phone. Like a lot of kids now are growing up with iPads. Like they might not like the consoles, and so we may see like a big switch to like consoles going to be like more like the Switch, but without buttons. And so everything's just virtually on like a plane of glass.
I'm still hoping for that time when my phone becomes as powerful as like a computer, like a desktop gaming rig, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like they're constantly trying to catch up. It just is that powerful always. Each new version is as powerful as a modern gaming PC. And then you just cast your video to your TV. You get a controller out and you play it. That's your console.
Are there any gimmicks that have stuck around that aren't gimmicks anymore?
It's hard to say because if they were a gimmick when they started and they stuck around, they're no longer gimmicks.
Yeah, but like
it's tough to figure that out.
Like something that started that everyone thought was going to be a gimmick.
Yeah, something that feels like VR now.
Not necessarily, not VR, definitely not VR, but the iPad was made fun of a lot when it came out.
But no one was saying it was a gimmick and it was a fad that was going to disappear.
I think it's mostly the name people are making fun of.
I'd say smartwatches.
Smartwatches, yeah, but smartwatches aren't doing great. But yeah, like, smartwatches aren't exactly in the healthiest state right now.
No.
So like that is something that could die still, I think, or at least get shortened, or get less people in the industry.
And I guess, are you defining a gimmick as people are saying this is just a fad?
I would say Rumble in controllers. That sounds pretty gimmicky. Like when you first hear that, your controller shakes when your character gets hit.
Yeah, that's a good
but
one.
But now it's in every controller.
Yeah, if I was born earlier before they had the DualShocks, and that was my first experience, I'd probably think Rumble was kind of gooey. But I was always in a world with Rumble. You know what I mean?
But like even like the N64 one, you had to like shove that pack in the back of the controller.
Yeah. DualShock 4s still have 6-axis.
Yeah, they do.
That's still a gimmick.
It's still a gimmick, but it's still there.
That'll be phased out next one.
Last game that used it that I can think of is Dark Souls 3.
Oh my god.
You use it for your remotes.
They actually used it, eh?
Yeah.
Oh man.
They never worked. Don't worry.
What?
They're really tough. It's like to wave, you have to like hold down X and shift to the right. It would never work. And then you're in the middle of combat, and all of a sudden it would work.
Oh.
You just start waving at the boss and then die.
I hate the games where they have the gesture on the touchpad, and then it's like way too sensitive. So you go to like press the options button, and you're accidentally triggering like 3 fucking commands because you're like your thumb just like grazes the thumb pad or the touchpad, and it like freaks out.
I don't know if this would be considered a gimmick, but I hope some other developers do it. Was in Hellblade with the headset.
Oh yeah.
And you had the 3D audio recordings, and so it sounded like people were walking all around you, whispering in your ear, and you got the kind of sense of how schizophrenic people are.
Far Cry could use that.
Yeah. So I kind of hope that. I hope more audio type stuff like that becomes a norm, because that was one of the coolest experiences I've had.
That's just like above and beyond sound design. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
I think Battlefield's got that going. They got really good sound like that.
Yeah.
What about that? Was that Dolby Atmos? Is that a gimmick? That's not necessarily gaming specific, but
It does seem like a gimmick, especially with the home setups that bounce the audio off the ceiling.
because no one's house is designed that perfectly.
Yeah. You can get them installed in your ceiling, I guess, if you want perfect, completely 3D audio. But
You'd have to have like a theater then.
I don't know how well I don't know how well the bouncing works.
Probably not great.
Yeah.
Although surround sounds are like still around, like obviously.
Yeah.
So maybe. That's interesting. Like, I think 5.1 is probably still more popular than 7.1.
Right.
So I wonder if like maybe just surrounding you with speakers was enough, and I wonder if everything else is like kind of gimmicky now. And they're sticking around because they're going to keep their 7.1. Like they're not going to, because it's just more speakers. I don't know. I mean, we don't have numbers on popularity, so but.
Is there anything outside of tech that was a gimmick that stuck?
That's a good question. Doorbells. I don't know.
Again, it's hard to say whether it was a gimmick that stuck, because if it stuck, then it's just what I know.
I'm confusing like gimmicks now with like staples of gaming, like red barrels and
Oh yeah, yeah.
What about those Polaroids where like the pictures wouldn't last, but that we didn't know that? Like you take the picture, like when you take a picture with those instant print cameras, those pictures like fade and disappear to like nothing after a few years. Like they don't stay developed well because it was instantly developed.
Is that a gimmick though?
Well, that like we
I mean,
thought
Polaroids in general just kind of went away, and then they came back because of hipster culture.
Yeah, but like it's a pretty big staple of our, like everyone knows what that is.
Yeah.
Like kids know what that is. Like that kind of stuck around. Even if its popularity isn't like, you know, not everyone has a freaking Polaroid.
Mm-hmm.
But like even if people know about it, like I would say that's stuck around. I don't know.
How long does it have to stick around for, too?
Yeah, what's the parameters of this one, Marty?
it's got to make an impact. It can't be like
Voice assistants.
Oh, that's a good one.
yeah,
That's a good
Those
one.
were pretty gimmicky when they first came out.
yeah.
And I asked the duration question because 3D Touch on the iPhone is a gimmick, and I don't think it's going to leave.
I like it.
Yeah, I do too.
I think it's awesome.
You have to actually train yourself to use it, but once you start using it, it's pretty nice.
It hides a lot of shit. It clears up the
UI.
interface a
Yeah.
lot.
And they even have it on the trackpads and the Macs now, which is fantastic. That's its best use maybe on the trackpad.
The only problem is that you never know what you can actually do until you actually try it.
That's what. Yeah. Here's a question though: do you ever launch an app like a shortcut from the 3D Touch options?
I tried. It's tough. It's tough to want to do that.
I know.
You're already there clicking on it. Just tap it.
Yeah.
Because it's like an extra click, right?
Yeah. But it can get you to like specific spots faster if you really wanted to.
But I never think of it like I don't take selfies, but just to use an example, I would never think to use the 3D Touch to access the selfie camera quickly. Instead of launching the camera has to load, then switch to the selfie cam.
Yeah.
But it would save you time.
Yeah, it would.
All right, let's move on. Overwatch, Marty.
Nice.
Uprising event returns in 2018, April 10th.
April 10th.
With a tease of something new. So the old Uprising event PvE portion's coming back. I think we know that. That's Tracer's first mission with Overwatch.
It's like it was the first lore-based. It might be the only lore-based
PvE.
event.
Or I guess, yeah, first lore-based anything, really, right?
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. And we're hoping for a new one.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully Blackwatch is your theory.
Yeah, like this will be like the destruction of Overwatch, really, when they start to lose it.
Yeah. And they're thinking a focus on Reyes, right?
Yeah, the developers said Reaper is probably the most important character to the lore.
That's crazy. I can't even figure out why. But that's your favorite character, right, man?
Hell yeah.
Well, I've been reading more about him, and he was the leader before Jack.
And they chose him
Soldier.
because he was more stable, right?
Yeah, more suitable for the job. And then he starts Blackwatch. It's kind of like their
Spec Ops.
yeah, kind of like their. I don't know what they would do. They do the dirty stuff of Overwatch that you don't really see
Behind the scenes
Yeah.
the public doesn't know about.
Yeah.
Torturing. I don't know.
And there's like, I love the lore surrounding Overwatch. It's the small little details.
That's why I think you like Bloodborne.
I think I will too.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a PvE event, and the rumors are that you're gonna have the original still for people that missed it. You didn't get to play it, right?
No, this is the last original event or last event that I have not experienced. Because the next one's anniversary, and that's when I bought it.
Oh wow, okay.
So they're bringing that back, and then there's gonna be another mission, I believe. And the rumors are that it's gonna be a permanent thing. There's gonna be a permanent PvE thing.
I wonder if the outfits are going to be, because not everyone in the game is from Overwatch.
No, that's a little weird.
And as far as I know right now, all the Overwatch members have their classic Overwatch uniforms or Blackwatch uniforms.
Yeah.
So I don't know for this type of event, who are they going to give outfits to?
Not everybody. I don't think Winston has one.
Oh, that's right. But he's just in his wasn't he just in his normal suit? His white jetpack suit?
Yeah, I don't think he gets out of that.
They gave him a blue one, I guess.
Probably smelly.
Yeah. Give him a blue one.
It's got to be weird having like a gorilla as a friend.
No one questions it, eh?
No.
No one in the universe is like, why is there a talking gorilla over here?
You know what's weird is Overwatch is racist towards robots.
Oh, yeah.
It's really weird. They're the bad guys.
But they did try to kill everyone.
Yeah. Are they still racist?
Some of them must be. Widowmaker shot the one guy.
I don't know if it's racist if you're against a machine.
Well,
That's
they're
right.
sentient.
Matt's a racist. Get him.
Yeah.
That's it.
They're sentient machines, though. They essentially in Overwatch they're fighting for their human rights, essentially.
Sounds a lot like Skynet.
You can even hear it in like the voice lines. Like certain characters will discriminate against the Omnics. They'll just say shit to each other. It's weird.
They just hate them. Well, I guess they have to have an enemy. They have to have like a reason to fight, I guess.
Yeah.
You can't have like a compelling story without a conflict. You can't just have like a utopia and then be like, we have an Overwatch. It's
Yeah.
like, for what reason?
But you're right. There's characters that aren't really in the story yet. Like I don't know what Lucio does.
We kind of signed up.
I don't think he's in Overwatch.
He just sells merchandise. Lucy OOs.
A bunch of them are in Overwatch. They're kind of just mercenaries who have fought in this current conflict, but not the original conflict. You know what I mean?
Like Roadhog
And Farah and stuff.
Yeah. It's weird. The other rumor, there's like a big leak recently, and I think when this update comes out, we'll know whether or not the rest of that update or that leak is true. But the word is that there's a movie coming out next year.
Ooh. Animated? Or live action Winston?
It makes so much sense when you think about it because
Andy Serkis.
It makes sense because all this is a prequel.
Right.
To like the main story. The main story hasn't happened yet.
Right. Overwatch movie and then Overwatch 2.0.
Yeah. I'm ready. Let's do it. I'll freeze myself and then you guys can unfreeze me when that movie comes out.
Why do you need to be frozen? It's only
Marty's
a
just
year.
dead.
That's a long year, man.
You gotta get Fortnite to hold you over.
What's the story in that?
You jump out of a bus and you shoot other people.
That's the story.
That's the story, yeah.
All right, let's hop to our last story for the week. Speaking of stories, Sea of Thieves is Microsoft's fastest-selling new IP on Xbox One.
Woo!
The game has already achieved an impressive milestone, surpassing 2 million players only a few days later after it managed 1 million players in its first 48 hours.
Jesus Christ.
2 million, I think, concurrent players, right? Is that what they're saying?
A hell of a lot of players in any case.
This doesn't necessarily mean the game has sold 2 million copies, as it's also free to play for Xbox Game Pass subscribers.
I want to know how many, what portion of, or if they included the Game Pass people in the sales. And
Well, they didn't say sales, did they? They
The
said
players, right?
players.
just players, shit.
And that's all playing at once, right? That's not.
I think that's what they're getting at.
That's not total. That's just like all at once right now.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Like despite all like the bad press, it still like took off. Like I'm surprised a game like that didn't warrant.
Well,
more,
it wasn't so much bad press.
But like I'm surprised there weren't more wary people.
Like
Where
nobody,
they were
but nobody was saying like don't waste your time with this game.
I didn't really get like the backlash of it until like after it came out as well. After it had been out for a little while.
Yeah, because I guess because people were probably reaching the the end of the content already. I don't know. I
Well,
haven't.
people complained about the lack of content in terms of like character like items and stuff, which they said they're going to address, and they said the game's going to evolve over time.
See that goes back to Marty's point about the original free version being shit. It almost opens up the door to have an excuse for developers to be like, well, sure, we've been working on this for 5 years or 3 years, and like we've released it on this day, but we only released 10% of the content. What are you expecting? It's like, well, come on, man. Like, what were you doing all that time?
Yeah.
Like, I understand it's difficult work, but like, what were you doing?
I think Rare got rusty after making Kinect games for so long.
Probably. Well, no, this is like a very rare game.
It's a Rare game.
Well, it is, but like, it doesn't make any there's no excuse for cosmetic items. It's like, your engine's all set up, all that, you have your like equipping system set up and all that. Yes, it takes a long time for somebody to concept approve and make it in the game, but you're not an indie dev studio with one person. You have a bunch. Mm-hmm. So shouldn't you be able to make more shirts?
But I wonder if it was just a lack of. They didn't want to make a game that was based solely on cosmetics.
But isn't that exactly what this is? Because there's no items. From what I heard, and I've not read too much in the actual game, but the beta, remember, did not have anything other than the blunderbuss that was actually better,
right?
In terms of gameplay, it was all cosmetic.
Yeah.
So if that is the same in the actual game, then it's all based on cosmetic anyway.
I think this game was simply a concept that they had. Let's make a fun co-op based pirate game.
Yeah. And
they just failed to kind of elaborate on that concept. And I've not played it myself.
We probably should jump into it. We were talking about it quite a bit.
Yeah.
Because you got the game, you just get that Game Pass.
Yeah.
And then you just have it for a bit.
I got a free code for Game Pass.
There you go.
So
you get it for free.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's one of those games where like it just seems like it's. I think we were talking about this before. It's an evolution of like play how you want, where it's like Far Cry kind of introduced that gameplay where it's like look at the settlement or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Plan your attack. Do you want to go in loud? Do you want to go in stealthy? Do you want to do this, that, the other thing? There's a bunch of ways to go in. Now like the evolution of that are these games that are just like, well, here we built a world and there's some quests, so have at it, I guess.
Yeah.
And there's no direction.
I think there's like a rise of. I might be different than you guys, but I feel like I can wait a year to play a game now. Like Sea of Thieves is probably going to be great next year.
That's a good point.
When they add stuff.
That's a really good point. One of the things, and this is weird, one of the things that I hate, actually, is I hate mastering a game. So, like, let's say we buy Sea of Thieves now, get to the max level or whatever. Like we beat the crap out of it. I'm fully equipped and everything. And then the game evolves while I'm away because I'm, like, done playing for a bit. And I come back, and I can't even recognize it. And it's like all the stuff that I did is useless now. Like, it's like any time that I put into it has been, like we've evolved past it.
Yeah.
And it's like it's either you have to stick with the experience or basically start over. And I don't like that. Like, I get to the point where I'm like, well, this is basically a different game, so I'm done. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't want to reinvest time into relearning a system that may just be switched again later anyway.
There's also the chance that the game doesn't catch on and you miss it. You miss it when it's like in its prime.
There's that too, yeah. Where you just like pick up a game and then it's like, the last update was the best.
Yeah. What are you doing playing Siege? It was so much better last year.
Yeah, and then it's like, well, fuck. Like, yeah, games as a service has like its caveats like that for sure. Absolutely.
See, I like being there for when the game starts. I don't even care if the game's bad. Like No Man's Sky. I wish I hadn't bought it for $80, right?
That's the thing.
But I was still glad to be a part of how bad that game was.
Like you can be a part of that, but just by like being a part of the community and like reading the reviews, you don't have to have purchased it.
No, but being there on day one, I got excited. I downloaded that day. I think you texted me too that you're buying it.
Yeah,
and so I bought it. And then even though the game turned out bad and I regret buying it, I still like being there and experiencing it for myself, and then seeing people talk about it online and kind of knowing what they're talking about. Do you know what I mean?
I think Wes just recently bought that. It's like $20.
Did you really?
Yeah.
It's not even worth $20.
I would have gave it to him.
Yeah. You have a disc, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks that they can't. That it just sucks.
This whole night made me realize how much I like the idea of a way out. It's only $40. and your buddy can play it for free.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. That's pretty good.
There probably won't be DLC for it at all. It's just like that's the game you get.
This guy seems like he likes bucking the trend, so
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
He likes what?
Bucking the trend,
The hell does that mean?
like you know, when the animal like bucks,
Sure.
you buck the trend, so you don't do the trend.
Oh, you're talking about
change-
the guy who made the game.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They said they're going to keep pushing like the boundaries of multiplayer. Keep experimenting with that.
Yeah.
Because you look on the
interesting.
store, it says 2 to 2 players. You can't play this on your own. Which makes sense that it's available for free for half the people.
Because if you bought it and then, although what happens if someone doesn't know that, buys it, can't play it, they don't have any friends, let's say, or don't have any friends who want to play it.
Yeah.
Then what do they do? Can they return it?
There's refund systems.
There might be like
Not on PlayStation, I don't think, is there?
I don't know about that.
Only in like Quebec or like where it's like legal.
But like generally speaking, in some stores there's refund systems.
Yeah.
we
So
got to
there's
play
that.
this because we're still wondering about whether you see the other person when you play.
I think you do.
You have to, right?
Because
Yeah, you help each other up and stuff.
there's story elements that you need to
Yeah,
see.
but like you're playing online with somebody, but it's going to be split screen the entire time.
Oh shit! I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's what's because you got to.
I thought the split screen was only couch co-op because I think the game is couch co-op.
But I think that there's like story elements that certain characters get, and you have to see it for both of them. You know what I mean?
Oh shit!
Like there's conversations that you could be having that I'm not even in the same room
Yeah. Otherwise, me and Ryan will have to catch each other up on everything that happens
when we find each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed. We're on the iTunes. Give us a rating, and we're on Google Play Music and anywhere else
Anywhere you listen to podcasts.
except for Spotify.
I had the best query corner question
you have
of the
it?
day that you had ever heard.
Are you
too.
being serious?
Yeah.
Go ahead, do it up.
Yeah,
no,
do it.
we're out of time. We got to do it next time.
No, what was it?
Yeah, do it. Do it. Do it. You got all
Well,
our
we
fans
kind of talked
changing.
about this the other night, but I thought, which big game is going to introduce their battle royale next? Like Matt said,
Right.
Dying Light has one coming.
Right.
What
Yeah.
games do you want to see get one? And my money's on Red Dead having one.
Oh,
holy crap. In
Maybe
their
like-
in their online mode?
Yeah, maybe not like you're jumping from a bus, but maybe you're hopping off a train or something,
Oh,
Yeah.
the train's a good. The train's a good one.
or like boats even.
They could do that too.
Yeah,
And they could even make it so that you're not hopping off of anything. You're just randomly being placed.
and it'd be really cool because it'd be like Outlaws. You'd have like gangs.
Oh, shit, eh?
That'd be scary.
Yeah.
That'd be really scary.
That's a cool one.
You see some horses running at you, and there's like a bunch of guys on them.
Dying Light sounds pretty good too because you can customize guns and stuff, right?
Yeah, there's like, I can't remember if you can customize guns, but like there's like you can put mods and stuff on weapons and like,
Yeah.
upgrade them and stuff. So that's really cool, for sure.
Because I feel like if you're gonna do this game mode, you have to have something like Fortnite with the building that sets you apart.
Yeah, you have to be different than everyone
Weapon
else.
customization would be pretty cool. Maybe like a Dead Rising or something.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'm curious as to whether you can do like a battle royale against like if somebody could PvE it somehow. So you get like Fortnite has like squads or teams. You do the same thing. You have like teams, and so you're like, but you're not holding out. Like you know what I mean? Like typically like a team game like that would be like horde mode.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be like that. It'd be like there's just good AI out there, and they get dropped in too, or they're just out there, and you have to like hunt them all down and clear an area. And it's like, but then again, I don't know if that would work for battle royale. I don't know.
I really think Red Dead's gonna have one.
Red Dead would be awesome for sure. For sure, Red Dead would be awesome if it had it. That's almost like an Undead Nightmare. The first thing I thought of when you said that was Undead Nightmare.
Yeah.
That's almost like that. What the heck else could do it? Any open world game, I guess, maybe? Like, could Far Cry do it? Like, I don't think they're going to do it, but could...
That'd be pretty
Far Cry
good with
pull it
like the
off?
wingsuits and the parachutes and stuff. and the
Yeah.
vehicles.
Battle Royale seems like such a versatile game mode. It's almost like any franchise could do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but which ones could do it well is the question.
Yeah,
Like-
I don't think Fortnite would have stuck around if it didn't have the building.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh,
COD probably wouldn't be a good fit. I think it's too quick. I think it's too professional. Too MLG.
you die pretty instantly.
Like I
There'd
don't.
be people like sniping as they're parachuting in.
Well, the thing is I don't think Battle Royale is MLG-able, if that makes sense.
No, that seems pretty crazy.
Like I don't think you could esport it properly.
Although teams, you could. Big team-based one, yeah.
But at that point, would they have to spawn with equivalent stuff? Like, do you have to be on a level playing ground? And at that point, then you like in Fortnite, you're running around. You could go into two houses and find nothing. You could run out into on the sidewalk, find a golden gun, and you're set.
In Fortnite, are the items randomized?
Yes.
So there you go. It's a level playing field. You go in naked, and it's just
no. But is that type of stuff allowed in esports? Is that randomness allowed in esports, or is it like is it like everyone can select this gear? So it's like if you choose the wrong gear, you chose it wrong.
How does Overwatch work? The teams aren't playing the same characters, right?
No, you can choose.
They
and
choose
change
their own
whenever you
characters.
want.
But then it's just they chose the wrong character.
There's no variables other than who you pick.
Yeah, and you're allowed. You could choose somebody else. You could, but if you don't, you don't. You just had a bad combo. That was your fault. It's not like the game was like you have to play as Symmetra this round, and you have to do it.
Yeah, like the best Fortnite team in the world could just drop and find nothing.
Yeah,
just get killed.
Just get destroyed by
us. Yeah.
You mean they land near Loot Lake?
Yeah, the curse
of Loot Lake. Yeah.
It's real. Look out.
Fuck.
Well, we were talking about Overwatch too, doing that Battle Royale type stuff.
That'd be more like, I don't know.
I don't think I'd like that.
I don't know how you would do that.
I don't think that'd be a good one.
You see a tracer blinking at you, and then you'd be dead.
Yeah.
Maybe I wonder how big of a fad this is. Like, I want to know in 1 year, is Fortnite still going to be around?
See, is this PUBG a gimmick, or is this a permanent fixture game mode that's going to be forever now?
See, like, PUBG is over a year old now, I think. And, like, because, I mean, I had early access for a real long time.
Yeah, it's got to be over a year. I remember hearing about it a long time ago.
And, people are still playing it like crazy. Like, it's the 4th game on Steam.
Oddly enough, Ryan,
Twitch,
Ryan was the first to tell me about it.
Yeah.
I didn't even hear about it, and he told me. I'm like, what the hell? How did you know about this?
He showed me another good one, too. It's not 100 people. It's more like 10 people.
Oh, wow.
But it's like a mixture of PUBG and Fortnite.
That's interesting.
Metal Gear Solid. They should have done that instead of Survive.
Metal Gear Solid could do it. Yeah.
You know what's the best part about Survive? It is MGS.
Oh.
It's still
MGS, yeah.
Yeah.
Are all their like secondary games going to still be something with S?
It should be Survive, yeah. Oh, man.
It makes me sad. Anyway.
Is the Phantom Pain, like, is Kojima the limb that's missing?
Do you think it's like an allegory to like his...
Oh, my God.
His
A discovery was just made.
I also made another discovery about Annihilation. We'll talk about that after, though.
Yeah, all right. We'll see you guys next week.
Peace.
Peace.